So, hi everyone, welcome to our webinar, the MOMentum webinar. We're very happy to have you here on board. Just a few reminders before we start the presentations. As you already have seen, the webinar will be recorded. So in case you don't want your name to be displayed or your image, please rename from the settings menu, and also close your cameras. Also, please be so kind to mute the microphone, especially when the presentations are in progress. A warm welcome from the MOMentum Consortium that we are all together here in Athens, and we hope that today's and tomorrow's webinars will be very interesting of you.
So thank you for joining us, for carving out time to attend our hybrid webinar, which was not originally included in the application form, but it was the desire of the partners to make the outputs as widely known as possible according to Erasmus Plus principles. It must be an open education resource, everything that we produce. So our aim with this hybrid event is also to put out there what we already produced and spread the word about what is still to come, which is maybe the most exciting part of the project, the mobile app that Chaledu is developing. But my presentation will not focus on the app, but on the first project result that we developed in the very first stages of the project. And that is a gamified role model education methodology. I have a few slides prepared, which I will try to share with everyone attending the meeting. Also, when you registered, as far as I know, we have your email addresses, so the materials can be shared after the event. So you can also have access to the slides if you're interested to revisiting what we will be presenting today. So I will ask my colleagues who are in the room maybe to confirm that the slides are visible. Yes. And if I go in full presentation mode and now switch between slides, do you see the slides moving? Good. So to make sure that everyone can see the screen, and I welcome feedback if I talk too fast or not loud enough, also from the online participants. And again, the slides will be shared afterwards. But if you would like to come back to some of the slides and discuss certain points, you can write in the chat that you would like to get more clarifications on certain aspects. And at the end, there will be time for discussion and questions. So the presentation, I will be speaking throughout the slides, and you can send questions in the chat, and we will address them at the end so that we do not have any issues with the mixed technical and in-person approach. So as mentioned, we will start with project result 1, the gamified role model education methodology. Simply from now on, for the sake, I will just call it MOMentum methodology. So this is the first output of the project. All of the partners listed at the bottom of the screen co-created this result. So it was a roughly equal effort to arrive to the final output. Maybe for those of you who didn't research the project prior or know very little about it, who is behind the project. So all the partners are listed here. Institute for Regional Development from Czech Republic. I represent this organization together with my colleague Pavel. Chaledu from Greece, which is the lovely host of the LTTA, the Learning, Teaching, Training activity that we are now taking part of. INPLA from Estonia, represented by Erika here, and Kadi, Citizens in Power from Cyprus, represented by Doris, and Association for Sustainable Development from Italy, represented by Maria Celeste and Gianluca Sarti. So the partners are also present in the hybrid webinar. So the questions can also be targeted to their representative, not just me as the presenter of this specific output. So what did we want to achieve with MOMentum methodology? What motivated us to start this research? So very simply, the methodology is our guidance document. So we created this document to learn what are the needs out there so that our project results respond as good as possible to the needs of the target groups. In our case, mothers who are interested in creating or improving skills in entrepreneurship. So we wanted with this methodology to promote entrepreneurship education and social entrepreneurship in particular, for women at large and mothers in particular, and even a more niched group which maybe needs our support the most are disadvantaged mothers, so coming from social backgrounds with fewer opportunities, of migrant origins, belonging to minorities of all sorts. So our project was written in the first place, seeking to deliver to these target groups, to the most in need ones especially. So we wanted to create a role model education with gamified elements that would inspire mothers to start their entrepreneurial journey, to fight the stereotypes that women, especially women who bore children, cannot start a business, and bring out the importance of mothers as contributing to the labor market, because they have a rich psychological, emotional, cultural background themselves. And the project, since it's in that sector, seeks to improve skills and competences in entrepreneurship, and to ultimately consolidate all these skills so that we collectively as a society, not just women, mothers, can promote more equal society in terms of economic, social, and gender outcomes. So our project is driven by a lot of motivating factors, but if we can bring it down to a few, that is empowerment, female empowerment, equality, employment equality, and fighting stereotypes to open up an economic niche to women, and that is entrepreneurship. So that's what motivated us, and this is what happened when all these motivations came together. We created the gamified role model methodology, which reunites the partners' research, and this sets a solid foundation for the creation of the remaining project results, which are represented by two toolkits, one on education role model and one on entrepreneurship, and finally the fourth project result, the mobile app. My colleagues will follow up with specific presentations on all these project results, and I will be walking you through project result 1 and what sections it covers, how it was created, what was the working methodology, and where you can find it. Maybe this is the most important component for the attendance of the webinar. The research is done, the project result is completed. So where can you find it to use it as you need? It can be found on the project website. The project website is named after the project, so MOMentum. It's enough if you Google MOMentum and Erasmus Plus to find us online. So on the website of the project, there is a tab results for Mom entrepreneurs, where you will find uploaded all the outputs that we produce throughout the project. So the project methodology is already available in the format of a PDF document in all the partners' languages plus English. So if you joined this webinar because you saw our call for participants from our respective countries, you will be able to find the material in Czech, Estonian, Greek, Italian, and for the wider base of users in English. So from the website, you can download the document. It is for free and it will remain available even after the completion of the project. So we kindly invite you to pay our website a visit and download the entire methodology in whichever language serves you best. Also, the document is formatted in such a way that it's inclusive, accessible. So the pagination and style of writing is also fit for people who have learning limitations. So we tried to focus on the equality component even in the way we present our results. So please give our website a visit and feel free to also navigate the other sections to learn more about the project mission, how Erasmus Fund supports us, who works with us, and keep up with the news about the project. So this was the general overview of the methodology. And now I will discuss in more detail how the methodology was created, what were the research guidelines that the project partners received and followed for the creation of the methodology. So we followed a structured research approach based on guidance and co-creation. The guidance came from Institute for Regional Development, IRR, as we were the partner leading the creation of this project result. Other partners take responsibility for the creation of the other project results. So us as leader of this activity, we created a research template, which was then shared with the partners. The purpose of this template was to ensure that the data is collected in a structured way, and at the end we will have comparable data sets. Since the partners come from countries spread all across Europe, we expected regional and national differences. So for this purpose, it was extremely important to have a structured approach to collecting the data. This is an Erasmus Plus project. So our scope is also confined by the size and type of funding we receive. We would love to maybe know it all about mothers and entrepreneurship, but we had to limit ourselves to what was doable within the frame of an Erasmus Plus project. So the project research focused on the societal setup, so the society context and policies in the partners' countries. So we tried to have a cross-country to compare our country's context in a way that is individually sensible, so it respects our individual differences between countries, yet it allows to create a research output that represents us all collectively, and it is coherent enough to allow us to go further in the project as informed by this research. So when we started researching, going back to the limitations of scope, we also had to put a limit on the time frame that we researched. So we focused on the past 10 to 20 years since entrepreneurship gained momentum in this period, and also some of the countries from the consortium started having the societal context for this to evolve. Looking back at like the communist past, Czech Republic, Estonia, we would talk about the role of women in a different way in society. So we tried to start our research in a point of time where like backgrounds for the role of women in society start aligning to an extent between the partner countries. Then we also allowed the partners to have flexibility in their research. Again, operating in different societal contexts. We were aware that maybe we will not be able to identify the same kind of data to compare it. So we decided to have three core areas of interest: motherhood and employment, the vocational education training national context, and entrepreneurial education as the three aspects that all partners need to research. And then the specifics of research under each area were up to each partner because the information they could find in their countries differed. Some partners found a lot of research, a lot of policies in place, a lot of existing good practices, while others were operating almost in blank since this was a very new development in their society. And at the very end, the partners, when they completed their research based on the template in their societal context for the past 10 to 12 years, with flexibility in doing the research, they arrived at the point of discussion and analysis. So the data was pulled together in a structured way. Since the partners are scattered across Europe and we do not meet every week, we had to rely on remote collaboration, which happened through Google Docs. So all the information was put together there, and then the research findings were discussed via written comments and online calls scheduled specifically to give feedback and settle differences between the research. And then the Institute for Regional Development, the leader of the project result, had the task of putting together, interpreting, and creating one coherent document, which you can access and download now for free from the website. So going more in depth about what the methodology analyzes, one of the areas of interest is motherhood and employment. So this was maybe the richest category with the most information and policies in place among the partner countries. So the partners looked at the following specifics. So societal status, how much inequality there is for men and women in employment. And a very special focus was put on the wage gap between men and women. So how fairly equal work is it paid equally? Then we looked at the national measures. If their governments, if our governments have policies in place to ensure gender equality at the workplace. Then we moved to the specific of women in employment once they become mother. So what happens once you go on maternity leave? What are the conditions for employment in the partners' countries in this case? Is the job held for how long? what are the financial implications of becoming a mother, how much of your salary will you keep, which are the average maternity leave allowances given in the partners countries, and can you make a living with that kind of payment, especially if you are one of the mothers from the vulnerable group, if you are a single mother of migrant background. And lastly, we looked at family trends. So paternal leave, this is standard practice in some countries, including those of the project partners. It's something rather new. So how men are now stepping in and taking paternal leave as well, and how non-traditional family structures also play into the picture. So after looking into all these categories and trying to aggregate data that spoke for all partners and spoke in one voice for the project, we considered it's valuable to include this in the final methodology because it brings relevance to the project. It created a baseline scenario to see where the labor market is in the partners countries for women, and then what factors influence women in the labor market once they become mothers, and if there is employment equality in fact. And why it mattered to conduct this research to be able to move further in the project. It helped us pinpoint, find areas where action was needed, and it helped us figure out how MOMentum can fill in those gaps, what kind of actions our project can put in place, what kind of materials it can create to help address all these factors and create better equal employment for men and women. Then another area of interest was the vocational education training, VET, in our national context. So here partners started seeing differences because when they were researching at a national level, even at European level, they discovered there are a lot of resources. VET centers and competence centers are frequent in European countries, and they collect data which was really useful for us to start our research from. But once we collected this data and tried to put it together, we realized there is a lot of variation between VET characteristics in our countries. So we had a lot to work with, but that lot was very different. So we had to focus on the very few aspects that were similar between our countries in VET, and to use that to figure out the common points and the main differences and work more on the common points. So when we completed the research on this section of the methodology, we managed to create a picture of the VET landscape in our countries and to see if there is vocational education training specific for mother. Why this focus was needed? Because mothers are a very specific group of learners. They don't have the same flexibility as, for example, a freshly graduated student. Their schedule is conditioned by their child. If they need to be home with the child, if they don't have anyone to babysit, if they don't have a bigger support network, if they need to balance having a job and a child, when would you find the space and time to have this kind of education and training? So we tried to spot what is there for mothers specifically, and if there are big gaps, how our project can serve and cover those gaps. And lastly, we got even more specific within the vocational education training with entrepreneurial education. So is there a focus in entrepreneurial education, similar to how the research on vocational education went? We discovered that the entrepreneurship status differs a lot across our countries. But it was very beneficial to do this research because we discovered concrete examples of what are skills needed to become an entrepreneur, especially for mothers, as the specific group of learners, and how these skills can be formed and further improved. So ultimately, our research methodology tried to find the topics and skills which are most needed to become an entrepreneur, and to bring the focus on mothers, and to see if there are educational entrepreneurial materials out there, practices, if they are fit for women, and if not, for us to create them. And that's why we made the methodology the foundation of our remaining project results. This set the tone. We have these gaps, we have these needs. We want to reach this point in the labor market where women can access jobs, can create jobs by being entrepreneurs, and this can happen in more equal context. Briefly, you can see here some concrete findings from the research. So across the partner countries, we discovered similar trends or very contrasting facts. For example, from among the partner countries, Czech Republic has the lowest unemployment rate for mothers as well, very high still for mothers. But comparing to other countries which are in double digits, Czech Republic is under 4%. So maybe we can look into Czech Republic as a good practice for employment. Then going on the opposite of the spectrum, we discovered another interesting trend in Estonia, which is the only country, not just within the project consortium, but in the entirety of the European Union, which has a negative wage gap. So women earn better than men, especially entrepreneurs. So Estonia was, in our case, the country to look towards for finding the golden standard for how women can enter entrepreneurship world, and they can not just earn a better living, but thrive as entrepreneurs and contributing factors to the labor market. So you can find inside the report the full methodology, all the numbers, values, trends that we identified, and the main critical findings broken down on the areas of interest, which I discussed in detail in the previous slide, are the following. So for the motherhood and unemployment, we still have high unemployment rates for mothers compared to other employees, including other women who do not have children yet. Then the gender pay gap persists, and sadly it widens once the women become mothers. And here we have the odd one out, the fact that Estonia is the only country where self-employed women do better than men. Then when it came to the VET national context, as discussed prior, the regulations and implementation of VET differs a lot across the European Union. We couldn't find any universal best practices that could be transferred within MOMentum project. So we concluded that we need to create tailored VET solutions for the mothers, since there is nothing universally good out there. And lastly, on entrepreneurial education, we found out that there are materials and practices for entrepreneurial education, but they are not designed to cater for the learning needs of mothers. Then the gamification is underused. It is present in European funded projects, but not that much in general vet education provided by vet centers in our countries. So we concluded there is the need for entrepreneurship materials designed for mothers with a gamification component to make it fun, engaging, and to leverage digitalization as much as possible to create adequate learning context for mothers who have limited resources to study in a traditional context. So when we were done with the research, we resolved that we will focus on fostering entrepreneurial skills to improve employability of mothers. We want to fight the stereotype and destigmatize the idea that mothers cannot be entrepreneurs. And what better way to do this than showing that they are role models and they all have pretty challenging stories, but they pursued. And to create materials that would allow mothers, women in general, to become themselves, maybe one day a role model. And our main way to enable them to reach that point is to create a mobile app, also working on a tablet, which can be a fun, easily accessible, and free way for mothers to create and improve skills necessary to become an entrepreneur. So my colleagues will discuss further how we got there, what kind of toolkits we created, and how does the app look like at this point. So stay tuned for the remaining sections of the webinar to learn more about what MOMentum has in store for you. So thank you for your attention. And now is the moment for questions. I could not see in the chat if questions were added, but maybe we can open the floor. Also from a technical standpoint, I do not know exactly how this will work. But I will remain connected for a few more minutes presenting and take any questions as they appear.
So thank you very much for introducing us to the whole MOMentum project. As you can see, there's a message in the chat. If you have any questions for Stefania or generally for the project, please write it on chat or just unmute and let us know. Okay, maybe more questions will rise when we elaborate more in them. Later, yeah. So thank you for being here. As per the agenda, we're having a very short break just for you to digest all this new information. And so we'll come back, let's say we are somehow ahead of time in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, if it is great for the participants. If you have any question, write it and we will come back to it after the break. So see you in 15 minutes. So we are back here. We hope you have prepared a fresh coffee and we are ready to jump into the presentation of our second result, presented by Ms. Erika Kunigas from INPLA. So the stage is yours, Erika.
So, thank you, Konstantina. And let's continue. I present the project result due role model education toolkit. So what we was researching different role model education, exciting role models and exciting role models, desktop research or interviews, motivating videos, books, ideas. Research existing role models. There will be like 10 female entrepreneurs. Business started during maternity leave or during the time spent at home with children. There was 2 options to make desktop research, or it was biographical success stories found from the internet or heard from your network, or interviews. For a background, we listened a lot of information and research from Stefania. There is a cultural background, that the women are in the society, understanding they are more at home with children, and actually, there is there should be some personality safety network that it is possible to go to work or make entrepreneurship or business. And of course, there is a huge what we need to look on the background is there financial support to start business. And of course, there is like how to combine the motherhood with entrepreneurship. And that's why we was looking what was the triggers and problems. We tried to look from the positive and negative aspects, and time management and soft skills, what is needed. There is this project partners, Greece, Czech and Italy made more like a desktop research, and Estonia and Cyprus made interviews. And the interviews was voluntary basis, and sharing their experiences and give the contents. We were thinking it's more like a personal story, and then when they give it interview, it was possible to do it virtually, and they was knowing that the story is publishing on the website, and the material are using for MOMentum projects. And yeah, as Konstantina was mentioning, there is result, all of the project results will be published in each project partner language and spoken language, and of course in English on the project homepage. So why we was the of the
We lost the connection.
I can see them done.
Ah, okay.
Because we can see the screen.
Your screen. So.
This one I will need to open or
It was, but just say
Again.
your screen. Yeah.
so now it.
Now we can see.
Oh, okay, I am sorry.
You muted, maybe you're not.
Yes, I should be muted.
Okay.
Or no? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry that you was not seeing my face. I have this desktop closed. So let's continue. I was thinking it's good to be why they started and why it's good to take this personal story, successful stories, while this is reflecting the personal journey more and experiences of entrepreneurs. Like in when you need to know something about some objects, then it's there is a focus group, at least with the 10 people. You can make a focus group and ask questions, and then you can get some input. So yeah, so we have at each partner needed to do this desk research or interviews with role model entrepreneurs. So what we was seeing, what was actually, I picked up some of them. Well, this is like very huge data actually. And what was the findings actually, that from where the woman get the idea, it's like their personal needs. Maybe they move to some countrysides or some they have no work to where to go to back. So or there, for example, there is need to work from home in Corona time, and for example there was a video call platform made, while then there is like a web 2-hour long babysitting. Yeah, it really works, and it's necessary. It's always when we have crisis or something, this is good to start some new ideas. Well, it goes from personal ideas. Or for example, here was like frozen baby food cubes. Well, when we are mothers, and maybe we don't want to have this imported food. Maybe we want to have the best always for the children. So there are like baby cool. They are frozen this small, while the small babies eating not so much, and then they can give food. It's like all the time here, all the stories what I was reading, it comes from personal needs. And or there are competences that the women are thinking, and then they start to use it, the competences. Or there can be like nothing, or they moving back, for example, to working country, and then they want to do or start to totally new stuff, and maybe they don't even know nothing about cooking, and there is not so big needs to cook. Cooking experiences. For example, in Estonia, we have like ice cream maker. So like you can learn it, and actually it comes from again from home. They moved to countryside, so there in the countrysides there is no work. Maybe you need to make your own work place for your home. So this all the women what I was reading here, all the women are saying that it is hand to hand actually, this work life and the personal life. and motherhood, and they really want to. What is the problem actually when we are mothers and we want to be with children as much? We want to be there, and then when it's some woman from the project told that actually it's the same. Then you are mom entrepreneur or you are going to work. It's the same actually. While maybe it's better when the time is flexible and you don't need to be in the office and you can manage somehow your time yourself. When you are in a employment, then it's not so flexible. There is the other kind, the other side of this is that it can be like a good, or it can be very disgusting. While it's the roles are so involved together that the home and your ID and all is put together. So it can be really challenging. So that's why we are going here. That I was reading all the stories, and really, when you want to do it, the one difficult part is support network. That you need to think it about it, while you need to have some friends or you babysitter or a lot of depends of the country. Lot of them are grandparents. For example, in Estonia, we don't have so many grandparents, while everybody need to work. So you need to really put your support network and think it really. Is it somebody who can help you? What is difficulties actually? But I read it a lot of. It's like the workflow. You are alone with the family responses, and this is huge. You need to be really like time manager. It doesn't help you. While for example, I took a lot of Estonian examples. While I know personally this woman, it's bad that I can put not all the examples. There is like really seasonals. For example, this chocolate maker, it's the most of the work is Christmas time, or at least half of this what is going. And or for example, the Jana from Surfi, this is a summer, and this is the most workflow. And where there is no worker who need to go there, then the owner herself actually is going to make the work. So and I read the other stories, and this is really like a huge problem. It's even maybe the good time managing skills doesn't help. While it means when you need to work, then the family is not the worst. You need to be less with the family. So what more? What was the result? The acknowledging trainerships, learning vocational schools for students. So constantly you need to learn something new, what the woman was seeing. Or when there is no, you don't know nothing, you need to be hungry for learning and really quickly while you need it. And you have no money to buy the expert maybe yourself. So the women are here made like web pages. They need to know how to make e-commercial shop themselves, back all service, all. What was the big research result also? Almost all told that they need financial support. It depends. For example, in Estonia, we have some EAS, European Association. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, we have these foundations from where you can. And actually, what the women are saying that. Please go ask the money. When you fail in this paperwork, then ask again, ask this, what was wrong, ask the back information, and maybe you need to do this paperwork to get the start money 5 times, then you succeed actually. From Italy side, there was like, there is possible to bank from the bank. In Estonia, this is not no banks are giving you some credit. And actually, almost of them are saying it was own financed, own pocket or the family pocket, or yeah, it's critical actually. There are some solutions what you can use. You need to be like really like ready to ask, and it's possible. Help again, what while the people actually told that the women are saying they need to know the information, the same people around what have the problem. Actually, it can be the same. Then it's like a support system of the mentoring, the trainings, ask really like, and when you are asking, then you get the advice, everybody, and this experience, the entrepreneurs are really ready to help you. So, and cooperation, yeah, in some kind of field you can cooperate with universities or the other partners, or make it together. And what is most important is this motivation. What motivation? This is the question why actually. All the women are saying they really like that this impact that they can do for something new, some give some advice, make somebody happy, give the good result, and like all what is important for them is this customer. When the customers are saying, this is the good project, this helped me, this make my life easier, you need to continue. This feedback is really like with customers. It gives so much new energy, and then they don't want to, it's so motivated. So yeah, here I put some of them, what they am saying, good manager, leadering. It is the same that you can be a good managing in the time or something. Sometimes it doesn't even help you while you are so full of the workflow. Yeah, here is that you need to know yourself. What are your strengths? What are your good soft skills? You can't. What is more? It's like communication. What they are saying, it's communication with the customers, and what is really good communication with partners, and communication what they are saying with employees when you're making a new workplaces. Well, sometimes it's really important, this communication. It is open and honest. So what was here, what I want to say more, that women are what the entrepreneurs are saying, that the women are more like social and empathic, and these small enterprises can make they are important, these small enterprises, small and medium enterprises, that it gives for all the society something really good growth, and we need to see that they can be very beneficial. And I like it really one Italian social entrepreneurs who told like her inspiration was from her mother, that when you want to be an entrepreneur, jump. So they really need to jump, women need to jump over these barriers. And whatever difficulties, I'm really impressed all of them stories that they can do it. But actually, I was not putting here my main fundings, that actually, when the mother are making this entrepreneurships, then it involves all the children, really young ages. The children can be like testing food, maybe when you are a food company, or the children can be like models for when it's children wear. So they are really giving a really good opportunity involved in the entrepreneurship, even the children. This is really the biggest role model you can find it, while from home you see, you package with your mother together, you are in the work with the work travels, you see a lot of contents, and it's enormous. So what I want to add actually is defined from Italian side, while I was saying that the one part of this entrepreneurship, what the entrepreneurship need, what activities more, is actually a lot of work have been in social media. And in this age, actually, the mothers, entrepreneurs themselves are direct, they are like a social media influencers. They really need to know what to put there, what context, how to get the clients there, how to make a social media pair, while it's really necessary. This branding, self-branding, strong branding. And that's why, the one what the Italian partner found, we send it this links later, while this is good opportunity actually to use these finances, or Women Tech EU and AEC acceleratories projects from where the small and medium women entrepreneurs can get some foundation from European Union. So and results, we put all this this or what you or what line? So
not about something, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry that I need to put this the end here. What I was yeah, and then I was explaining myself this. I added and then the last what I wanted to say. Yeah, I need to add this what I told, and that the woman entrepreneurship are themselves the greatest role models at home. With when they work with children, I need to put this main thing. This is the main. While then the children, I added, while the children are the food testers, they are like when there is a travel meetings, they are with always together with mother. And the business meetings and the partner meetings, and sometimes when there is like a children clothing company, then they are models. They are really like enormous, keep enormous role model on this field. So, and yeah, we put all this research, and of course, yeah, I need to add, when we sent the information about these slides and overview, then we had these links. While I think it's the action what the woman can do, our European foundation, what Italian side was finding out, this two women tech, EU and AC assemblers, there is possible to get foundation to start all over Europe. You need to, this is small and medium size woman entrepreneurship foundations. So we put, we sent these links, and we put all these research to Erasmus MOMentum project webpage. And what I want to say, it actually, while this data is so enormous, I'd really love to put these stories in social media step by step, while then this is really powerful stories. So thank you.
So thank you very much. I do believe that we must learn more about their stories, and it's a nice idea from Erica to display them in social media. So now that you've seen two of the project results, I would like to all the audience, both online or on-site participants, to send any questions, if there are any, of course. And we also have a very interesting project and idea presented in the chat. So if there is anything else, we could also discuss on what Miss Samantha Carty presented as a project. But are there any questions inside? Maybe if we have any entrepreneur, they would like to share the stories. We had a participant, Samantha. Yes. Conducted another Erasmus class, which is called Change Makers. I don't know if maybe she wants to share some of the videos, discuss about her results. Okay, so if Miss Samantha Carty can hear us, would be very interested in learning more about the Changemaker project, if possible.
Sure. Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Samantha Carty here. I'm from a company actually called MOMentum in Ireland. So that is, I think, why your project came to me about this notification about the presentation today. So I work with 13 other partners across Europe on a project called We Are In, and it's about supporting young female entrepreneurs, looking at the whole gender ecosystem, and to encourage them and support them through educational programs to start and continue their entrepreneurial journeys. So throughout the project, we have collected a number of role models. I think we have 34 on the website now. We call these the change makers. So you can find them under the resources page. and they're individual stories of young female entrepreneurs. It's just like the previous speaker was saying, it's giving them some branding. It's giving them an opportunity so that they personally can, I suppose, start their journey, that they can, you know, have support throughout that journey. So it shows, I suppose, what advice maybe that they had as a young person growing up, and what has kind of inspired them. So other brands that they're inspired by, but also it gives a platform for their business so that there's links to their business, and it shows, I suppose, other people who are setting off on their journey. It gives inspiration and motivation for them to start. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, are there any more questions or comments on what you heard today? Oh. So, if you can just digest all the information you have shared today, and maybe tomorrow's session will be also more inspiring. You will have we'll have an overview of PRC, mainly educational activities in entrepreneurship, and also you will have a sneak preview of our MOMentum app, currently under development. So thank you very much for being here with us today, and we are looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. So thank you and have a lovely day.